beautiful day here at Maderas.
Mark Forman stands strong today despite losing his wife Tracy to breast cancer only a year ago.
She had breast cancer when Mark met her, but she had a 95% survival rate. But they got married, and 1 week after their honeymoon, they found out that the cancer had come back full-blown. So she lasted for another 5 years due to the wonderful, wonderful care from the City of Hope.
There's a lot of non-billable time and a lot of extra hours that they put in trying to keep her alive and save her life. And they were just, I couldn't have asked for a better team and a better hospital to be with.
That's why the proceeds from the first of what is now an annual fundraising tournament organized by Mark will benefit the City of Hope. The tournament attracted celebrities, NFL players, actors, famous golfers, baseball players, world champion boxers, jockeys, and referees, newscasters, comedians, artists, the Charger Girls, Hooter Girls, and most important, two-time breast cancer survivors like Sylvia, who underwent surgery to fight the disease.
I had developed breast cancer 12 years ago. I didn't have a chance to be scared. I said, let's do it. And we did. When I woke up, I didn't have a breast, but I had a life.
And while they're mixing fun and fundraising together, a very important message is being delivered not only to women, but men as well.
Men have developed breast cancer. Don't be afraid. Go to the doctor, go to your checkups. Don't give up, because if you let it go, then you don't have a fighting chance.
The fight to find a cure is what made this event possible. A day of fun at the Forman Celebrity Golf Tournament brings the world closer to a cure.
It's nice to know that there's this many people that care and are willing to do something to show it.
And on this day of celebration, from the golf course to the silent auction cocktail party to the evening gala, loving memories of Tracy were shared throughout the weekend.
Well, when I asked her what she was thinking, she turned her head, she looked through the door through which Mark had exited. She cocked that smile and she said, "Poor guy, he won't know what to do without me."
But Mark did know what to do. He made the Forman Celebrity Golf Tournament to support cancer research a magical night to honor Tracy.
The organization has a clear vision. It is necessary, and personally, I don't know what else would be more important than to doing what you believe in.
I'll go anywhere and do anything because I feel so good, and it just makes me madder than anything that I can't do what I normally like to do.
Feisty 79-year-old Iris Reed is being treated for breast cancer. She was diagnosed just last year.
Got it. Good shot.
Is there anything else that you want me to get for you, like a warm?
Yeah, bring me a cold drink, a beer, or whiskey, or something that I'm not allowed to have. Just kidding.
In a room just down the hall at Sharp Grossmont Hospital, 43-year-old Joan Eichner is also being treated for breast cancer.
Probably like most people, I thought it could never happen to me. And suddenly I was faced with surgery and followed by radiation treatment, 6 months of that. And it put my normal life on hold. I have a 6.5-year-old son, and, it's particularly frightening. Not so much for myself, but for those, I potentially could leave behind.
Like so many who are diagnosed with breast cancer, the procedures and tests mount, tallying up in some cases to astronomical fees. That's why Forman's Foundation to Find a Cure is fighting to close a financial gap and help fund necessary tests through a partnership with Sharp Grossmont Hospital.
We created an application process for them to apply to the foundation for funding for individual patients that were having problems getting insurance to pay for tests that doctors felt were actually needed.
He says not enough attention is given to early detection of metastasized cancer.
As was in Tracy's case, she was getting chest x-rays constantly. They would come back negative. We would celebrate thinking that everything was fine while it was spreading terribly through the rest of her body. And it was just everywhere that the chest x-rays weren't looking.
The Forman Foundation volunteers have turned a tragedy into hope and support to help other cancer patients survive.
The insurance won't necessarily pay for a full body scan when that's really what needs to be done after a patient has been diagnosed with the disease.
While Iris and Joan have not applied for help through the program, many others do need help right now.
Financial support's important because it's one of the major stressors patients undergo, as well as having the diagnosis of breast cancer. If we can take care of them financially, then that takes one stressor off of them.
I think that anybody that donates money to help cancer should get a first-class ticket to heaven.
Those who do have money, like the celebrities and the high-valued sponsors, could put their money to good use.
If it's too complicated, cut the cord. Paralyze me if you must.
In his Hollywood career, Forman Tahir has starred in popular TV shows like CSI, Grey's Anatomy, The West Wing, and blockbuster movies including Iron Man and Star Trek. In real life, another kind of drama touched this actor and his family in a way that changed their lives forever.
Was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it really hit home because my mother-in-law to me was my second mother. I came to this country as a young man, and I think it wasn't until I met my wife's family that I really felt a sense of belonging. And most of it, the credit goes to my mother-in-law.
Forman began acting nearly 30 years ago. Today he devotes his time to his wife, his kids, his career, and charities like Forman's Foundation to Find a Cure.
I am extremely humbled and honored that I could be part of the Forman Foundation's golf tournament, because I think the work that Forman Foundation is doing is imperative, it's essential. It is really to make sure that our loved ones can be safe and secure and away from this illness.
He sat down to talk with Live Fit magazine about his career and how he hopes to one day see a cure for cancer in his lifetime, and how his mother-in-law's death has impacted him.
And she was going to fight back as hard as she could. Unfortunately, she finally passed away. But through her, I think what I have learned is that there is no reason for us to be complacent about things that are being dealt to us.
The disease stole not just a mother-in-law, but also a grandma.
That was the first person in my family who had actually died. So at first I really didn't believe it. I was actually standing over there playing with a friend, and he took me aside and told me. And it's devastating because that's someone that you love so much, and now they're gone. I was really close to my grandma, and also it's really sad seeing your own mom cry, because that was her mom, and I think that was the hardest part.
We need to keep working. We can't be satisfied with the progress that we've made, because no matter how far you get with it, until there's a cure, there's still work to be done.
The Aztecs would like to welcome Mark Forman of Forman's Foundation to Find a Cure. Mark will be throwing out today's first pitch in honor of his wife, Tracy. There we go. Thank you, Mark Forman.
We have a long way to go, no question about it. You know, the more people that get involved, the more money that gets put into it, the more research that goes on. You know, the more insurance companies and doctors that we get involved in working with foundations like this to put together programs to help do everything we can to not only find a cure, but make things as good as they possibly can be for the women as they're going through this.
I can't even imagine, you know, what it's like to lose someone to cancer.
Even though Tony and his family haven't directly been impacted by breast cancer, he certainly knows the importance of raising awareness. That's why tonight, the team is supporting Forman's Foundation. Tony didn't play baseball for 20 years and make it into the Hall of Fame without pure diligence and perseverance. Just like finding success in baseball, Tony knows that's what it's going to take to find a cure.
And I think life is no different. I think if you're going to get what you put into it, and if you are diligent and you concentrate and you work really hard, that you can be successful. And that's why I think a lot of us feel like sooner or later one day there will be a cure.